Welcome back to Bluebell Island for episode 9 with me, MrSealyp. The first growth and shoots on field 3 are coming up through the ground, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode. Something else I've noticed the other day, over there, there's like a bridge I think that goes across. Never noticed that before, might have to go and check that out later on. But back to the matter in hand. Let's jump into the Massey 3090 and close the door. Perfect. Get some weeding done. I was asked a question the other day about the weeder, because although that said, I've set a worker, no problem. A comment was left saying that was there any point in using the weeder, was it essential or necessary, because they couldn't hire a worker to use it. I've just hired a worker on this. It might be to do with the map, it could be a glitch, it could be to do with, there's a whole myriad of reasons why it might not be working, but you don't need to weed, absolutely not. To get your fertiliser states, there are multiple ways of doing it. You can slurry a field before you plough it or cultivate it. You can manure spread it. You can fertiliser spread. You can fertiliser spray. You can slurry inject. There are so many different ways of doing it. Weeding is just another way of getting another fertilising state into the ground. The only difference with this to the others is it's free. Technically, once you've got slurry and you've got manure, that's free as well, but you've got to get to a point where you've got enough of that on hand. Fertiliser spreading and fertiliser spraying, you've got to pay for the fertiliser. So this is a free way of doing it. And the weeding, well, there's been all sorts of updates and things have happened, but generally speaking, the weeding was only supposed to be able to be done in the first growth stage. But I know when it first came out, there were lots of videos, people saying it was working on all growth states, and again that will depend on the map you're on and various different things, but it's free. So for a relatively small outlay in buying the weeder in the first place, there's no reason why you can't run the weeder over a field. It works, and you get your next fertilising state. When it gets onto the next growth stage, then I will fertiliser spray. That is the plan, but I'm going to leave this running for the moment because I also need to get the last bit on field 5 sorted, and then that needs to be ploughed. So I'll head over there in a moment. Okay, so this is where this episode gets a little bit weird. I did the contracting, I thought I needed some extra money. This field has been ploughed. It was manure spread, ploughed. It's been cultivated and it's been fertilised. So it's had 2 fertilising states already, and now it's ready for seeding, and I think it's got fertiliser in it as well. So I jump into the New Holland, as it has. I'm putting sunflower back in it, and I'm setting a worker. There's a reason for that. This needs to crack on while I do something else. A lot has happened in the wonderful world of Farming Simulator since I recorded the first part of this episode. I did it in chunks, and because a load of new mods came out, I've been doing mod reviews and guide tos. Top right hand corner, the money's gone up, contracting, but also I sold the wool that I had over at the spinnery. I was going to do that on screen, but I was worried because there was an update for this map that I would have to start the map again. I have tried it on this version. I've also started a new save game in a different slot, and there's no difference. I have found nothing different whatsoever. So I've kept this save game, so I didn't need to sell that. I was worried. I was kind of gathering everything up, making sure I knew where everything was ready for a new save game, but I haven't had to do that. So I'm on 157,000, but there's a lot that needs to be done. I've got my Massey Ferguson 699, my 6 series. Now, if you recall, this was a 2-wheel drive version, but due to the witchcraft and wizardry of Farming Simulator and the Mod Hub, the Massey Ferguson pack has been updated and upgraded. These tractors now come in different categories, so the one that I bought is now a 4-wheel drive, not a 2-wheel drive. So this has got to go back to the store. I can't customise it, I need to sell it and buy the 2-wheel drive version, which is a little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. And as you'll see when we get out to the store, there's a lot of other equipment there that I'm going to sell. Now every episode now I seem to be doing a section where I sell stuff and buy new stuff, because new mods have come out, but also because bits of equipment I bought originally thinking they would be perfect for the map haven't quite worked or don't quite fit, and I've just decided, you know what, I'll change them. So this will be one of the first things that changes. If you haven't watched my guide to the Massey Ferguson update, have a look at that. There are quite a few other guide tos I've done, I think about 5 or 6 over the last few days. Whiz over and have a look, but we will change this momentarily once I get over to the store. So we have quite a lineup of equipment here. We'll jump out. Now, if you recall back to my first couple of episodes, this was not the slurry spreader I wanted originally. The one I wanted originally, when I loaded it into the game, kept glitching and sinking into the ground, so I had to go with the Garant Kotte, whatever you call it, which is the in-game version. It's not the one I wanted. So now I'm going to sell it. You'll see why in a moment. I'm not getting rid of the Aerostar, don't worry, but I'm getting rid of the weeder. This was quite expensive to buy. Slow that down. Disconnect it. Nearly 30,000 for that. Excellent. The case 1660. This is going to go. I'm not getting rid of the TC590, the New Holland, although it is worth more money. Again, you'll see why in a moment. $126,000. Sell that. 16 for that. Wow. Blimey. Okay. This will need to be sold. And the 2-wheel drive version purchased. $21,000. Wow. Okay. Now the purchasing can begin. So, providing that I've installed everything correctly, first thing, weeder. Now, the Biobeltz weeder from Toxic Om, the WST 220 came out. Look at the difference in price. $999 against $34,000. It's narrower, much narrower. It's only a 2.2 metre, but again, it fits this map better. It's not about banging around like a maniac. It doesn't matter if I set a worker to weed a field and it takes 20 minutes. I really don't mind. It doesn't bother me. Yes, there'll be worker fees, but it's not going to come to 34 grand. So, this I'm going to buy. First purchase. Next was slurry spreader. The Garant Kotte was what I had, 12,000 to buy. What I have installed now is the HiSpec 2300G. This is a CDModelz mod. Sort of 10 metre spread, and that one had a 9 metre spread. That was 85 horsepower. This requires 115, so I've got a couple of tractors that will manage that. It's got a larger tank capacity and it's a cracking looking mod. The thing about it is what colour to get. I could go for MrSealyp green, but that's not liked by a lot of people. I could leave it standard. I'm going to go orange. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. I'm leaving them as standard. I do like the standard. I'm going to go for, actually, like a dark grey, I think. So 17,000. That's cost me a bit of money on the one that I sold, but this is a really nice looking one. Like that. Okay. Next on the list then was the harvester. Like I say, if you haven't watched my Massey Ferguson update video, here's the situation. The one that I just sold, if you buy new, is 145,000. In the Massey Ferguson update, there's the new Massey Ferguson. Well, say new, it's old, very old. The Massey Ferguson 27, it's only 55,000 to buy. 8,600 litre tank, and I think this one was 6,340. So it's a bigger tank capacity and way cheaper. So, with warning triangle, absolutely. Obviously I need the header to go with that. It should be right at the end. Now, this is an old Massey Ferguson header, the 27 cut. That's 7,000 and it's a width of 6 metres. If I go along to the other Massey Ferguson headers, so the smallest one is there, 25 feet, 7.6 metres, but it's 38,000. That's crazy money. That's 7,000. Does the same job. It's a little bit narrower, but I'm getting it. Okay, so lastly was the tractor. Now, as you'll see when we get to the end, this is where it all changes rather dramatically. Whereas before, in the Series 600 without a cab, you had one version, and when you clicked on it and went down to wheel setup, you had standard, wide, narrow, rear twins and two-wheel drive. That two-wheel drive option is gone from here now, and you have got an actual separate two-wheel drive version, and it is actual two-wheel drive. Blacksheep Modding have worked their magic. That is a four-wheel drive version, all four wheels driving the tractor. That one is actually two-wheel drive. That's what I had originally, a two-wheel drive version, so I'm going to go with that, the two-wheel drive. I think I got 20-something thousand, didn't I, for my other one? Wow, okay. Front loader attacher, yes it did have. Engine setup, 699, yes. Wheel setup, I'll go with wide on the back. Design, no, standard. With a warning triangle, that's the new thing, Blacksheep Modding. Warning, oh mind you, 26,000, has gone up a little bit. I don't need the warning triangle, to be fair. And that's everything. Replacing everything I just sold. We're back to a 2-wheel drive version. Lovely, which is what I wanted originally. The harvester's got a bigger tank capacity. It's very plain, it's very ordinary, but it is dirt cheap and it will do the same job. And it's nice to have something a bit different and something that will fit the map. This island, Bluebell Island, hasn't changed much in a long time, so this reflects that. Plus it means I've still got a red and a yellow harvester. Had I got rid of the New Holland, which was worth more, I'd have 2 red ones, and you know, not that makes a big difference, but everything seems to be red on the farm. And then a tiny little weeder, which is all I need. And we are far better off in our bank balance. What I'm going to do now is take all this stuff back to where it needs to go, and we'll crack on with the episode. And with all that sorted and put away, all the excitement of buying new things, field 5 is complete. Fold the seeder. Then we'll take that to be put away. Probably could do with a wash actually. We do need to get some more grass. The sheep and cows need it. Plus I need to sort out feed for the animals because I've been kind of putting it off. Not putting it off, but it does need doing. So we're going to do a bit of feeding of the animals. And then think about sugar beets. Oh, I keep saying about buying the fertiliser sprayer as well. Haven't done that, have I? I might leave purchasing the next items, I think, for the next episode, maybe. Done a lot of buying today already. Some power there. Give this a quick wash. Once that's done, because it is quite noisy, there's a question I want to ask. An opinion poll, if you will. I want to pose a question and see what people think. That'll do. Okay, so here's the thing. This may be me being incredibly naive. But when I started doing videos on YouTube, I just kind of followed the lead of other YouTubers, blindly I suppose, and I wanted to check what people's feelings and opinions are on a couple of things. One being doing Let's Plays, and the other on them being called Let's Plays. So, let me just back this in. Now I know the whole I didn't know defence doesn't generally stand up in court, but in my naivety, I just assumed from watching a few different YouTubers that when you did a series, a gameplay series on a particular map, that it was generically called a Let's Play. Now I don't know whether that's the case or whether that's one particular YouTuber's name they gave to it. I know different YouTubers call their series different things. Is Let's Play considered to be a generic kind of term, or because I don't want people to think, or the YouTubers themselves to think, that I've stolen their kind of game title, or whatever you want to call it. What do people think? Is that a generic term? Do people just generally call them Let's Plays, or is that, you know, for one particular YouTuber and other people have kind of taken it on board? I don't know. So that's my first question. I was curious about that. Is that a generic term, or is that for one YouTuber? And the other is the etiquette for doing a Let's Play, a map series, whatever you want to call it. Do you have to ask the map creator's permission, or is it just kind of considered morally right that you do? I've never, in all honesty, I've never actually asked permission. I know a lot of times when I've done different ones and I've done reviews on maps and I've thanked the modder and that kind of thing for how great the maps are, but are you supposed to ask permission before you do a Let's Play series or a game series on a particular map? Again, I don't know. Is there an etiquette in that you should ask but you don't have to, or should you? I mean, you know, that person's made that map, they've put it out there for people to enjoy and use, but do you need to ask permission? So yeah, 2 questions really there. What do you think? Is it okay, the Let's Play thing, and should you ask the modders, the map modders, permission, or is it just considered to be an etiquette that you should? You know, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It'll be interesting because I'm just curious. I don't know. In my defence, I don't know. I'm not just being kind of playing dumb or anything. I don't know. What is the etiquette? Exactly, couldn't agree more. Right, okay, so moving on, we need to sort out the animals. That's that bit done. Feed and grass, and what do I need? A tractor and a trailer. I don't want to just put the tractor away, but let's go and grab the Deutzfahr. And I'll go and grab a trailer. Be with you in a second. I have just grabbed the Massey Ferguson 140, it was the closest one, made more sense. So, a couple of things I want to check here actually. So, wheat, barley, canola, sunflowers, soybean, corn, hay, grass. Oh okay, that's interesting. Now I'm really confused. That's all you can put in the silo. Now, unless I'm missing something, if I go into the menu and scroll across, I don't know if I set this on all the maps, but up the top it shows you the price for 1,000 litres of potatoes and sugar beet, and it has 0 litres. Where would I store that it would tell me how many litres I had? If I just dump it on the ground, it won't know how much I've got. Yeah. Never mind. Right, nothing to check then before I move on. What's the feed situation? Right, so I do need straw, I know that. Grass I need for the sheep and the cows, but as far as the pigs go, they need wheat or barley, potatoes or sugar beet. Sugar beet I need to do, but wheat or barley I have, and I can do that now. So, wheat or barley? Oh, I'll do wheat. Don't know how much I need. We'll take that, see how we get on. And then we'll sort out some grass. Why is it whenever I come down here, it's always the spotty pigs that are feeding? It's weird. Okay. So straw, I've got some bales. Maybe if I just chuck one bale in, that should be good enough for that. So hay or grass, and then sugar beet, I need to do a sugar beet harvest. But that's looking a little bit healthier now. So, grass is next. Let's sort some of that out, shall we? So I've grabbed the Massey Ferguson 885 and the Mengele trailer. And I'm heading up just past field 18. And I'm going to turn left just before the, I want to say Highland Grain. The old grain store. To a different field that I haven't cut grass on yet, tucked away in between all of them. It's a funny shaped field, but it's fine. Just round here. Look on the map. We're just between 18 and the old grain elevator. Probably midway up the map. So, let's turn that on and drop the pickup. Turn that on and drop that. Okay, and let's cut grass. No idea how much I'm going to get from this field, but having just looked in the silo, it says it takes hay and grass, so I can do anything I don't use for the sheep and the cows, I'll just stick in storage. And why not? Hopefully this field won't have any of those strange ley lines underneath it. So I should get all the grass, I hope. We might get lucky. I mean, I'll get all the grass, but you know what I mean? It doesn't leave a gap, then you get a massive mound of it. More nuggets on the ground. Now, with the money I've got in the top left-hand corner, I'm considering buying another field. I do need to get a fertiliser sprayer, and I'll keep saying that, but I'm going to buy another field, and probably one of the larger ones, I think, with the amount of money I've got there. Might be quite nice. Oh, we found our first ley line. Never mind. It's a bit peculiar, it's right in the middle of the field. Anyway, yeah, so I'll probably buy a field, but that'll be the next episode. Like I've already said, I've done enough purchasing in this video already. Don't want to use up all the fun in one episode, do we? Filling up nicely. Right, what I will do is jump ahead now. Next time you see me, this will be full. Won't take very long in all honesty, but it'll be full, and we'll go and give some to the animals and put some into storage, I think. And there we have it, 25,195 litres, we are full. A bit of breezing, lovely, without crashing. Let's go and feed these sheep and cows. I'll do the sheep first. So, I know I've been promising it for ages and ages, but next episode, definitely we'll do a sugar beet harvest. We will get it done, and I will get the fertiliser sprayer, because I do need that, because a couple of the fields are on the next growth stage and they need spraying. So, we'll get there, provided no more mods come out or anything changes that I need to buy or sell anything else. I come around the right side? I haven't, have I? Just realised. Oh, dearie me. Okay. Yeah, brilliant. I came around to the water side. what we'll do first, drop that off. Right. Should be able to get around now. I've got rid of the header. Mind you, to be fair, I think the header's probably about the same width as the wheelbase at the front, maybe a little bit wider. This seriously needs cleaning out. Okay, right. Let's park that up there for a minute because I need to clean this feed area before I give them any more. Right, so I'm going to go and get something to clean this up with. Excuse me. That is the end of another episode. They are rocketing past. I hope you've enjoyed it. New purchases, bits of equipment, some sold, some new to try out. I'll sort these animals out. Next episode, definitely sugar beet harvest. And things will continue on Bluebell Island. If you have enjoyed it, found it informative, fun, whatever you found it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.